Hello, my name's Tracy Dignam, and this short video is going to give you a little bit of an overview into the potential health benefits of mindfulness and meditation. So just to give you an introduction, I'm actually a physiotherapist by training and an educator, and I've done some research in the field of meditation. So I don't come from the lens of a psychologist or a counselor or an occupational therapist. My hope is that I can bring the science of meditation to anyone who's interested in meditating to allow for two things to happen. The first is that it demystifies it. So, you may be thinking, is meditation for me? But when you understand the science behind it, you may be more comfortable with that. And the second is to motivate you. In my practice, the more I read about the potential health benefits and all the potential, ramifications of having a sound meditation practice, it keeps me very motivated. So that's the other good reason to pay attention to the science. So Jon Kabat-Zinn, who is really the pioneer of Western mindfulness practice, defines it as paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment to moment. And I think the key to pay attention to there is the non-judgmental. When you start meditating, you may not like the way that your mind is being so busy when you're trying to focus, or when you're trying to be in an open monitoring state. So it's okay, just recognizing that that's normal and not being hard on yourself. So that's the big piece from there. But also what we're realizing is that we spend so much of our life doing. And for me, what mindfulness has taught me is to sometimes just be without doing. So it's a very easy concept, very simple concept, but it's not an easy thing to achieve. So mindfulness is the non-judgmental awareness, and meditation is the formal practice that if we do it, it becomes easier for us to become more mindful. So we know during the course of our day, we have opportunities that present themselves that allow us to be more focused and present. But just because we're walking in the woods doesn't mean we're not thinking about our to-do list. So it has to be an intentional choice. We want to try to be present and live in the moment and pay attention to our life as it unfolds. But why? Well, first of all, we may as well live our life as it's happening. But the research points to some really encouraging evidence of why we should. So first of all, emotional well-being. So whether it's that you have low-grade anxiety, or you have a stressful lifestyle, or you're just feeling low, and you want to build some resilience, mindfulness stands to offer quite a bit to you. In terms of the cognitive aspect, that's something that really excites me. The older I get, the more I worry about cognitive decline. And so looking at something that can offset age-related cognitive decline, that can actually improve the focus and memory. I feel my memory is better than it was when I was younger. And so it really is a tool that can help us to become more effective. And if you've got teenage kids, maybe you're interested in helping them to optimize those brain areas for problem solving, decision making. But the exciting bit for me as a physiotherapist was looking at the physical benefits. So looking at evidence-based support of potential positive impact on immune system, the heart and blood vessels, the lungs, the digestive system. If you consider, you might be able to lower your blood pressure using meditation, reduce chronic inflammation, and address pain, not eliminate it, but become more able to manage the discomfort, and potentially to optimize tissue healing and repair. Pretty powerful. But the studies that charged me up the most, and what sort of helped me to get into the world of doing some research in this area, was the MRI studies that Hosel and that team did back in 2011, that showed that people that meditated, if they took MRI images of their brain before 8 weeks of meditation and after, over the course of those 8 weeks, we saw physical changes in their brain. physical changes don't always correlate with functional improvements, but it's pretty exciting. So reduced size of the amygdala, which is really that stress center of the brain. An increase in left hippocampus thickening, so that's learning, memory, and emotional regulation. And an increase in gray matter at the TP junction, which is really interesting. This is kind of what makes us nice. So these are 3 parts of the brain that are ones that would be exciting to target with a meditation practice, to reduce that amygdala so we're not as stressed, and to improve the way our brain's functioning. So if you're new to meditation, usually the guided meditations will tell you what position to get into. So whether it's a sitting one or whether it's lying, but really you want to optimize your posture, stay awake, and yet be comfortable. I prefer having the eyes closed, but some practices just encourage lowering the gaze. And then initially, when you're starting meditation practice, the first part is just to get better at paying attention. So focused attention practices tend to be the first type of meditation I would recommend. And the breath is always there. So starting with paying attention to our breath, but there are lots of different tricks, lots of different ways we can. So if you want to try some of my videos, I'll introduce some of those. And when you have thoughts or distractions, anything that takes your mind away from that narrow focus, totally normal. It's okay. Just don't judge yourself. And over again, you bring it back. It's as though you're strengthening your mind each time you bring it back. You really are. When you go to the gym and work out with weights, the weight is the resistance. When you're meditating, the mind wandering is the resistance. So you just come back and you don't judge yourself. There is no right or wrong time of day, but what I would say is consistency. So really trying to make it a part of your daily routine so that you see these benefits. So if you go to therapeutic-meditation.org, I've posted a lot of different scientific news stories, publications, references to studies, and then I've also posted some evidence-based meditations from some of the mindfulness research centers and some recordings that I've done as well. So thank you for your time, and I really hope that you will begin your meditation practice and stay motivated.